Okay, so now that we've kind of gone over the basic steps, let's take a look at some problems. Go ahead and pause the video and write this problem down. And, oops. Okay, so you can see that our equation is cosine of x equals the square root of 3 over 2. So step 1 has already been done for you. We've already isolated the trig function, so now we can move on to step 2, which says determine what x can be for the equation to be true. So you should recognize the square root of 2 over 2. It's from our 30, 60, 90 triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that over here. And here's 1, square root of 3, 2. So I need to figure out from which angle is cosine of x equal to the square root of 3 over 2. Well, I know cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so which angle has an adjacent side of square root of 3? It's going to be 30. So in quadrant 1, x equals 30. However, we also have to think about the other quadrants. So this one isn't enough. Which other quadrant is cosine positive in? So we need to think about our all students take calculus. It's going to be in the fourth quadrant. So what we do then is we draw our 30-degree reference angle and figure out how big is the angle that creates that 30-degree reference angle. So how big is this angle right here? And to figure that out, we're just going to do 360 minus 30, and for quadrant 4, we get x equals 330 degrees. So those are our two different answers under 360 degrees. However, it tells us to find all possible solutions. And since cosine is a curve that goes on to positive infinity and negative infinity, we need to use this formatting for our answers. So this is our theta. And then we would put plus 2 pi in. So it would be x equals 30 degrees plus, and since this answer is in degrees, we're actually going to put, we're actually going to put 360 degrees times n. And for this one, we're going to put x equals 330 plus 360 degrees times n. The reason why we write our answers in this format, this is the formatting, is because now we can choose any n, and that's going to take us one rotation forward or one rotation backwards. So if you go back and look at one of our very first skills, we talked about coterminal angles. These formulas right here are going to give you all the coterminal angles to negative infinity and positive infinity. These are just the two most basic ones that solve this equation. Okay, so now let's take a look at a tangent example. So we're going to find all possible solutions of tangent of x equals the square root of 3. So again, square root of 3, that should look familiar. That's using our 30, 60, 90 triangle. So from which angle is tangent equal to the square root of 3 over 1? Well, I know tangent is opposite over adjacent. So I look here and I say, okay, which one has opposite over adjacent? It's going to be 60 degrees. So I know that in quadrant 1, x equals 60 degrees. And we have to put plus 360 in so that we can account for every rotation in the positive direction and rotation in the negative direction. But I just realized this, the tangent is also positive in the third quadrant. So I need to figure out where this angle is going to fall in that third quadrant. So my reference angle has to be 60 degrees. Hopefully you can see that little tiny triangle. So I'm going to rotate around here, and to find how big this full angle is, I have to do 180 plus 60. So that's going to give me 240 degrees. So another solution to this equation is x equals 240. But we have to account for every positive rotation and every negative rotation. So I'm going to put plus 360 degrees in. So you can see that almost all of these